ladies and gentlemen. If there's anybody in here right now, not sure if there's anybody even watching, but I'm trying something different. Typically, I'm on Twitch, but I wanted to try to stream on YouTube today, at least, just to kind of see how everything is, see how everything works out on here, etc. Cause I mean, I don't know. Man, I'm kind of talking to myself, but I feel like this may be where I want to stream rather than Twitch, since I already upload videos to YouTube all the time. So I don't know. I think I may rock out with this and do YouTube instead. But also, I don't know how like music works on here. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure about how a couple different things works on YouTube, but uh, I'm from um, I'm from Maryland, Stevie. From Maryland. I'm not sure how a couple things work on here, but I mean, hey, I am here to talk Wizards today, so we'll be doing that. Um, top three Wizards guys that I want to talk about from the draft. Benedict Mathurin. Um, or is it Mathorn? I always mess it up. Dyson Daniels, Jalen Williams, and then I add a couple more. Jalen Williams, if I didn't just say him already. Johnny Davis and Jalen Williams. Um, and Ochai, Abaji. Those are my guys right there. Those are definitely my guys. Um, if the Wizards trade the 10th pick, because that's one of the things that a lot of people that I've seen lately on Twitter actually. Was good, Zaytoven. Like a lot of people have been talking about the Wizards trading the 10th pick, which I don't think is a good idea. Because if you trade the 10th pick for the Wizards for a veteran guard, a veteran point guard like Mike Conley or freaking who else? Mike Conley or oh my goodness, who's the other name? Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon. I'm not really digging that, bro. Like I'd rather just go ahead and get somebody with that 10th pick. You know what I mean? Like, or trade up. Shoot, trade up to the what's the name? Trade up to the 4th pick. See what the Kings talk about. See if you can get Jaden Ivey. For real, for real. What's up, Eric? You said I mean we're gonna have to trade something because our roster will be too deep, but neither of those PGs are it. Yeah, like if you're talking about freaking Mike Conley, who's like, oh, it's like, trading the 10th pick and Malcolm Brogdon, etc. They ain't it, bro. Like you said, they ain't it. I'd rather trade for like a Monte Morris that won't cost the 10th pick. What's up, yo, Hanan? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So you're from Israel. Let's go, Denny. Yeah, Denny, man. Let me talk about Denny real quick. I've seen a couple videos from his off season. I'm hoping for big things for Denny this season, man. I really am hoping for big things because, I mean, it's his third year. He's going into his third year. This is going to be big because eventually you're going to be talking about club options and then that second contract, etc. So hopefully, we see that a bigger jump because at the beginning of the season last year with Denny, I mean, defensively, to start for sure, when he was throwing up the clamps and all that, I mean, he was looking really, really good, So hopefully he improves that, I believe, left hand, and continues to make improvements from what he did in the second season. Can't wait to draft another forward. Yeah, Wall, bro. If the Wizards draft, let's say, who if the Wizards draft a let me call in some lo-fi. If the Wizards draft Jeremy Sohan, I'm not digging that. I'm not digging the Jeremy Sohan. You know what I mean? Like that ain't it. Eric, you said our bench will be Diddy, Rui, Kispert, and Gav. That good if they all step up. So wherever that 10th pick fall. Yeah. I mean, and people, how do y'all feel about Jalen Duren, the big? I mean, I know it's a big, so it's like, do we really need a big? But how would y'all feel about Jalen Duren? You said you like Tari Eason. I like Tari Eason. He's definitely one of those versatile bigs. Defensively can really help the Wizards defensively. I mean, he's always playing those passing lanes. Just got to make sure he doesn't get caught on the gamble. You said no, we don't need Jalen. Yeah, it's like unless you make a trade. Other than that, like, nah. You know what I mean? Like I'm good off Jalen. I'm really good off Jalen. Let me look at some highlights real quick so we can look at a little something. So who would y'all say is y'all top guy? Who is y'all top guy? Who is your top guy right now that you want the Wizards to go after? Is it Benedict? Is it Shaedon Sharpe if he drops to 10? Because Shaedon Sharpe, it's a possibility that Shaedon Sharpe could drop to 10. You said, do you think we can get anything for Porzingis? We're stuck, man. I mean, you can get something for Porzingis, but I just don't see the Wizards. I just don't see the Wizards really getting rid of him. Like I'd be surprised if the Wizards traded Porzingis. Plus, he was playing really well. He was playing really well. So I don't know. You said top guy Ben Math. Yeah, like Matt, like Benedict's a dog, bro, and the Wizards need dogs. Like I understand that his handle, it's a little questionable sometimes. You could talk about his handling, his ball handling, etc. Which can be improved. That can always be improved. But Benedict is one of those guys that I think can come in and help the Wizards right away. Said Perrin we trade up for Ivy. I'm 100% down with trading up for Ivy. Whether it's the 10th pick. I'm pretty sure because the Kings wanted Kuzma to begin with before Kuz came to Washington. They were talking about Kuzma going to the Kings for Buddy Hield before we traded Russ over to LA. So Kuzma will probably have to be in there. The 10th pick. Maybe probably Rui or Denny will probably have to be in there as well. But Jaden Ivey, I mean, he's my guy. Like I'd mess with Jaden Ivey. Heavy. I mess with Jaden heavy. Let me look up. How y'all feel about Dyson Daniels? Are y'all A on Dyson Daniels? Are y'all not that high on him? Are y'all like he's cool, but he's not really what y'all looking for? How y'all feel about Dyson? Because I like Dyson, man. I like Dyson. I definitely do. I think he's cool, man. I think Dyson is cool. I get it. He's not the most athletic. He's not going to wow you. When you look at his highlights, he's going to have a bunch of athletic dunks. On Twitter, I saw people comparing him to, Denny, but I don't think Denny and Dyson are the same. I don't think they're similar. Now, Dyson and Denny on the court at the same time will be really good defensively. Because you got two long, lengthy guys out there. I mean, Dyson is number 2 on my top 3 personally. I'm not saying he ever going to be a 20 points per game guy. But, I mean, I think the Lonzo Ball comparisons I think they're valid. Actually, let me put this out on Twitter real quick. Twitter real quick. Let me put this stream out on Twitter. Also, let me know, guys, if I should I stream this on should I stream the draft on YouTube? Because I feel like I'm gonna just stream the watch party on YouTube. Because that's honestly what I really want to do. I think I'm gonna just stream the watch party on YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube. What's up, Fritz? Hold on, let me read your comment really quick after I post this. Alright, let's go back to the highlights. You said first, you said good size, great complimentary player for us. Need Blake Wesley as a late round pick. I've heard a lot about Blake Wesley. I'm about to turn on some Blake Wesley highlights as well. I've heard a lot about him. Out of Notre Dame. Eric, you said what Ivy BR2 with Bill at the 1? That's a great question. I wouldn't want Bill at the 1. No, I wouldn't want Bill at the 1. I mean, Bill is cool at the 1 in spurts, but you want Bill focusing on scoring. And I feel like that's a reason why Bill struggled last year, and he struggled a lot because Spencer Dinwiddie didn't turn out the way we wanted him to turn out, and it hurt. I think it hurt because Brad had to take a lot of the facilitating job. You know, he was having a lot of 7 assist game, 8 assist games, but he was bricking. He was out there bricking. You know, so I want him to get back into a role where he's just the number 2 guy. You know, and I know Jaden isn't really a 1. He's more of a combo guard. But I don't know. I think I would throw Jaden at the 1, and I would throw Brad. I would keep Brad at the 2. That's how I would rock out with it, personally. But realistically, I doubt the Wizards trade up. I doubt they trade up. But I think the Wizards would trade their 10th pick for a vet point guard rather than trade up to the number 4 pick, which is completely backwards in my opinion. You know, looking at where they're at. The Wizards trading the 10th pick for like a Mike Conley, Malcolm Brogdon would be a classic Wizards move. That would be a classic Wizards move. That's a move that will keep the Wizards in purgatory. Trading the 10th pick for Malcolm Brogdon, a point guard who has health issues. I mean, or Mike Conley, a guy who's old. He said, man, just give me Rosebar Wall and call it a day. Facts. I mean, this is my thing on John Wall. I would take him. I take John back. You know, and I get there's going to have to be some making of, some kissing and hugging, you know, between him and Ted and Tommy or whoever. But it's a lot of signs there, though. We seen Kuz, you know, defend Wall from the Colin Cowherd take about him not making teammates better. We seen Kuz defend Wall. We seen Kuz take pics with Wall, calling him a DC legend on Twitter. We seen John and Brad at the Celtics finals game together. So, I mean, sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire. You know? Sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire. That's what I would say, personally, you know? I'm not going to keep ignoring all these signs. Let me look at Blake Wesley. Blake Wesley highlights real quick. How do y'all feel about Jalen Williams, man? Out of Santa Clara. I know he's a guy who's projected to go kind of maybe late lottery or mid lottery. I mean, not late. He may be like mid lottery now, not late. Because after the combine, he's jumped up. He's gone from like hitting gym to like one of the rising prospects in this draft class. How do y'all feel about Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara? I like him. You know, pick and roll game, really good feel for the game. Not the most athletic, doesn't have quick bursts. You know, had some impressive dunks though that I saw when he was with Santa Clara. But I mean, he's really crafty. Knows how to get to his spots too to create his own shots. What's going on, Mo? Glad to see you here, brother. Said this Dad we live on my bro YouTube channel, just tuning. Hey, what's going on, Dad? What's going on? We just talk about some draft here. Talk about some different prospects. Looking at what? Blake Wesley right now. Dad, how you feel about Jalen Williams, man? You know, I know my boy Damo on Twitter You know, that's his number one guy right there, Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara. You know, don't think he will go 10 to the Wizards. That's like if the Wizards traded back. I think he would definitely be a higher option. I'm liking Blake Wesley though. And then I think, you know, another guard too, like later, maybe if he makes it to the second round, Nimbard out of Gonzaga. You know, if the Wizards end up going like Benedict or something or Shaden Sharp, so they still kind of want that young point guard. You said Wall would work because our salary won't take the biggest hit. We keep our young core and Porzingis and maybe package some trade for a solid three. Don't really trust KCP to start. Yeah, I don't like KCP start. I've never liked KCP starting at the three. I've never. Whoo, sheesh. I've never liked KCP starting at the three. Um, he's an undersized three, you know. So I think he's better as a backup too. But I know you got Kisper on the bench as well. So yeah, the Wizards got to figure some things out. But you know, John can get the buyout from the Rockets. You know, come back to Washington on a veteran minimum. Let's say the Wizards pick up Dyson Daniels or Ty Washington. John will be a tremendous mentor to those guys. You know, as far as learning the game. What's up, Adventure? So you said, what do you think about Kuz at the 3 and Rui at the 4? I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I thought about them doing that last season, honestly. You know, I thought about, I've said at times, Kuz at the 3, and I thought about having Rui at the 4. You know, but obviously the Wizards wanted KCP at the 3, and they wanted Kuzma at the 4, primarily. But I thought about that sometimes. At times, I have that rolled out, that as a starting lineup. What's up, Kay? You said I really want Mathurin. I think he's the perfect guy to match our team. We have Rui and Kuzma. I like the idea of Mathurin and Rui or Mathurin and Kuzma playing together. Yeah, like if the Wizards get Mathurin, I'm happy. I'm a happy man. Y'all gonna see me on here wilding out. I'm gonna be extremely happy, man, if he makes it down to 10. If he makes it to 10, I don't see the Wizards passing up on him. I really don't. I truly don't. Well, you say you think trading for DeJounte is realistic or not? Man, I would love DeJounte. That's another point guard that I would give up some stuff to, you know, for the Spurs. If he didn't really fit their plans or if he wanted to go. But I don't know if they're really willing. I don't know if San Antonio is willing to give him up. You know, I would definitely go for it though. I mean, the guy's athletic, you know, rebounds, triple double guy. I wouldn't mind DeJounte at all. I would love him. Eric, you said I like it, but Kuz was so good at the 4 grabbing boards. Yeah, Kuz. Yeah, I mean, I understand why they liked him at the 4. You know, I definitely get why they liked him at the 4. But I think he could play some 3 too. You know, and he has the right size for it. You know, he has the size to play the 3 as well. As well as the 4. Big J, you say, yeah, bro, it's apparent this is Kuz's team now. The players flow around him. Denny and Rui hanging with Wall, calling KP on trade night, trials, and talking to them. Kuz busy being about the Wizards. Yeah, I thought like people throw Kuzma in trade talks and whatnot, but it's like Kuz is like very heavily involved with everything the Wizards is doing, like around, just being around, talking to some of the fans on Twitter, etc. Like I just don't see him going anywhere. I really don't see him going anywhere. Honestly, I just don't. Who do I want to look at next? Who do I want to look? I'll look at some do some shading. You said Dappy said I feel like Jalen Williams would be a great piece. Wouldn't take him at 10, but he has versatility and can run some point. I like his size and passing ability for real. Yeah, like Jalen Williams, I mean, his ball handling, his play in the pick and roll, his ability to create his own shot. Now, I understand why people may worry, like at the next level, because he's not the most explosive guy, you know, so I can see why they may think, how much of a main ball handler can he be at the next level? But I mean, if there's one thing I love about a prospect is his feel for the game. And Jalen Williams has that. Jalen Williams has that. He has feel for the game and good IQ as well. You know, and the potential to have some defensive upside too with his measurements. You said I like Rui at the 3 for offense and Kuzma at the 4 for offense. I like Rui at the 4 for defense. He does better against post players. I like Kuzma guarding the 3 for defense. Yeah, I think Rui had times, you know, not so much last season, but the season before where it was like a span on the West Coast games. He was guarding Dame, he was guarding LeBron, he was guarding a couple of different guys. He was guarding guards and wings. You know, he was playing well defensively. So Rui does have the defensive potential, you know, to I would like him more against post players as well. But you know, we'll see. Isaiah, you said, why do you feel like people are lower on Tata because he went from potentially top 10 to top 20? Well, I know, didn't he get like hurt? So that kind of cooled him off. And then I also feel like, you know, like the game against St. Peter's. I think he struggled against Arkansas as well. It's like certain games against big time opponents, he really didn't show up and like, wow, you know, the crowd, you know, wow people, you know, online. So I think that kind of cooled a lot of people off on him. They were like, yeah, I like Tata, but he's like, he's cool, but that's about it. You know, so, you know, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised people cooled off on him, but I do think he's a good player. I do think Tata's a good player. You said, I feel like the Spurs fans will want Sohan just because a lot of them are Baylor fans. I'll say this, if we get Sohan settled team to, if the Wizards draft Jeremy Sohan, it will be a riot on Twitter. Because he's another wing who's, you know, good defense, good defensive potential. Not the best 3-point shooter, not the best free throw shooter. Is like, it's like another line of like, you know, you just drafted Denny. You know, and then the wings, you talk about guys like Troy Brown. You talk about guys like Kelly, who I think Sohan will be better than those two coming in. But, like, he's one of those picks that I think Wizards fans would roll their eyes at. Fritz, you said, what about trading KP for Terry Rozier plus? Not sure who that last person is, who you wanted to say. With Terry, I don't know. I wouldn't give up on. I wouldn't trade KP so easily yet. You know, I would like to see him with a legitimate point guard. I want to see him with a legit point guard out there. You know, because KP is probably the best. Not probably, is the most talented front court player the Wizards have had since I don't know who. You know, honestly, when you think about it. So, I would keep KP around and just hope he stays healthy. That's the only thing with KP. Hoping he stays healthy. You say, you see, I don't care if we lose or win with Wall. At this point, I just want an energetic atmosphere when I go to watch my Wiz play at Cap 1. Yeah, Cap 1 been pretty dead. You know, only time Cap 1 is lit is when the Capitals playing. When it comes to them Wizards, it's pretty dead, I will say. It's definitely dead. Big J, you said, I'm good with anything they do at 10 if they get Wall back or legit veteran PG. Yeah, like, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm just leaning towards Wall. You know, I wouldn't mind. I don't think Dyson makes it to 10. But for example, I wouldn't mind getting Wall, getting Dyson, you know, and having Dyson or let's say Ty or even Johnny Davis, for example, you know, having a guy like John Wall mentoring them. You know, I think that would be good for him. Dappy, you said, how do you feel about the rumor of Tommy trading the 10th pick for a lead guard? However, there's not a lot of options available. Plus, the draft is weak at PGs. I would trade for SGA, DeJounte. Yeah, SGA and DeJounte are like no-brainer guys who, you know they're like that guy. Like, they're those dudes. You know what I mean? But, Dap, I said earlier, like, that's a classic Wizards staying in purgatory move. You know, trading the 10th pick for a guy like Mike Conley or a guy like Malcolm Brogdon. They not it, bro. Like, I'm telling you, I just don't think them guys are it. You know, I just don't. I would rather just see who's there at 10. I would rather see who's there at 10, personally. I'm not watching all 13 minutes of this, but I would rather see who's there at 10. You said you on the side of trading for Brogdon or not? Cause like I don't know. For me, he's a perfect fit next to Brad and KP, but the age and injury history worries me. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like I think Malcolm Brogdon is good. The injury stuff, and then yeah, like the age, it's definitely a worry. You know, that's why I'm not like pressed to get him. But I would get if the Wizards would want him. I definitely would get it. I would understand it. Um, but I mean, I'm not like, oh yeah, Malcolm Brogdon is my number one option out there. Eh. Eric, you said this situation is all KD's fault. He could have at least lost all these years in the playoffs at home. When I tell you, Eric, like, let me talk about KD. When I tell you, man, KD is like, always talking about, and I understand he just didn't want to come home. It came down to that. He just didn't want to come home. But KD talking about, like, they appreciate Steph more than me, blah, blah, blah. KD would never get the love from any other crowd, whether it's OKC, whether it's Brooklyn, whether it's Golden State. He would never get the love that he would have received that he would have got if he came to DC. Like, bro, he would have been that dude here. Like how Wizards fans felt toward John, you know, it would have been that towards KD times 10. You know what I mean? Because KD's like the homegrown guy. You know, he's from here. You know, so, I mean, he didn't want that. He didn't want to be home. Jay, you said we can't trade up because they plan on signing Bill, and anybody in the top 5 has been given the keys to the team. Can't share keys with Bill. Now, I mean, I think I wouldn't say that because, I mean, the more help, you know? Shoot, if you feel like Jaden Ivey can be a special player to pair with Brad, so be it. You know what I mean? But I just don't get, and to bring up Brad's contract, that's a good thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Another reason why I don't like trading the top 10 pick for, you know, veteran guard like Conley, etc. is because you go and trade, you gonna give Brad all this money, and then trade your draft pick for an older vet, etc. Like, I ain't with that, man. I'm good. Whew. Some craziness in my chat just now. Let me see. You said, what do you think about trading Brad? I mean, trading Brad. Me personally, I would have did it. I would have traded Brad. Me personally. I get why the Wizards didn't do it because Ted, like, he wants somebody to put tickets, to sell tickets, etc. Even though the Wizards' attendance is still towards the bottom of the league. But I would have been traded Brad, bro. I'm not doing this purgatory stuff. And, like, not being good enough, but not being, like, the worst ever. I would have traded Brad, man. I would have traded Brad a while ago. Like, I definitely would have traded Brad and got some good compensation for him. Like, before all this opting out stuff would have came about. I would have traded him about a year or two ago. Personally. Kay, you said, D, would you trade 10 for John Collins? Personally, I definitely wouldn't, but I guess others might disagree. I mean, it's like, I would say no because it's like, so what do? You have Rui, you have Cal, you have John. That's a lot of like fours. What do you do? You know? What do you do with that? You know, it's like, I wouldn't personally. Azai, you said, I know folks want John back, but I like what personally left for Wall to go to the Clippers. Would be fit tremendously well with PG and Kawhi. Plus, you have a legit shot at the ring. I'm all for John going to LA to play with the Clippers. I'm all for that. I would love to see John in a playoff contention setting, you know, where he's like has a legitimate shot at winning a ring, you know, because I doubt that'll happen in Washington. But I would love to see John get his flowers on that big stage, man. I definitely would love to see him go to the Clippers to play with PG and Kawhi. Mo, you said Portrez Big O for the Hornets. Yeah, them boys out in Charlotte are wilding. They are wilding out. Also, guys, if there's people in here who aren't subscribed to the channel, about me, I talk Wizards. Obviously, I'm a Wizards fan, so that's what I do primarily. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, man, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I also have memberships. I'm probably, if I get to that level, I would do like Wizards jerseys giveaways, etc. All that, for the members as well, and members only live streams, etc. Stuff like that. So if you want to support to that level, obviously. But Eric, you said the problem with Bill is that there's no other team out there that Bill can sign with where he'll be a contender. Miami is maybe the only one, but they have to give up the whole team for Bill. If Miami's trading for Bill and they decide to go with Bill, and Washington decides to do it, I need Tyrese Maxey. I said Tyrese Maxey, I'm sorry. I need Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero, definitely, for starters. They're not giving up Bam. I don't want Duncan Robinson because of that contract. Tyler Hero and I don't know, but the starters is Tyler Hero for sure. That's the starter. You got to give up Tyler. He said, well, you said just take me back to the 2016-17 season. Yeah. What's irritating about that, Wall, is like the Wizards front office. The Wizards had their opportunity when you had young Wall, young Bill, etc. And the Wizards just never capitalized on it. They never, ever capitalized on Wizards being like that close to the Eastern Conference Finals. When the Wizards had that opportunity to get potentially KD, which was never a real opportunity because he never even gave them a meeting. They got Ian Mahinmi. They got Andrew Nicholson. Then they had to trade the first round pick to get rid of Nicholson for Bogdanovich. Who turned into Jared Allen, who the Wizards could use badly. And then they let Bogdanovich go. Gave Otto Porter the max. It's just so much trash that went on. Civic J, you said low-key, strategically, I want Mark Williams at 10. Locks down the paint period. That pick has real value. If the Wizards were to go big at 10, I'm Jalen Duren, man. You talk about a guy. Let me call on some Jalen Duren real quick. And I get it. Like, we don't really need a big. I get that. But if they were to get one, I'm going Jalen Duren. Like, the kid's he's an athletic freak. He's an athletic freak, man. Mark Williams, little less athletic. I'm a little more worried about him with guarding the perimeter, etc. Jalen Duren, I think, man, strong kid, young. Obviously doesn't really have post game like that, etc. But more of a pick and roll, lob threat, etc. Get on the offensive boards, get on the defensive boards. He's working on the mid range game, etc. I wouldn't mind a guy like him if the Wizards' big position wasn't as figured out as it is currently. You said honestly I wouldn't mind trading down, trade number 10 unless it's Mathurin for some low first round picks and draft some 3-and-D players to build our squad. If the Wizards trade down and Jalen Williams is still there, then I will go Jalen Williams. I would look at like Blake Wesley, guys in that range. I would start looking at them. Eric, you say if we had KD, we would beat Boston in 5 and the Cavs in 7, then win the finals. I wish, man. I wish it would have been like that. That definitely would have been. That would have been lit. That definitely would have been lit. You said Spurs taking him. Jalen Durant. Yeah, I think Jalen and DeJounte Murray would definitely be a fun combination. I definitely would like to see them in the pick and roll. Love to see them in transition. I definitely can see the Spurs taking him. Because who they got at the 5 right now? Jacob Poeltl, I believe. That's who they got at the 5. Definitely can see them going Durant. And then Mark Williams being the second big man off the board. Yes, I mean, as far as just strength, athleticism, rebounding, he's tough. You know, he's definitely tough. Definitely tough. You know, he's a guy that I could definitely see becoming easily a starting five in the NBA. Easily becoming a starting five in the NBA. As far as the Wizards, is like, could you put him next to KP? Would KP prefer going back to the four? Does he like playing the four a little bit more? You know, yeah, maybe, but yeah, I doubt Durant is a guy the Wizards are looking at right now. Doubt it. So Tyler Hero plus Duncan plus 5 first round picks. Not gonna lie. I would definitely need a decent amount because you know the Heat first round picks are going to be like lottery first round picks. They're going to be late in the first round type picks. And then the thing with Duncan is like that contract kind of makes him unattractive because you saw in that series against the Celtics he was just, I mean, he wasn't even a factor. He wasn't able to be a factor. You know, and it's like, do you want to get rid of Davis Bertans and his contract just to pick up Duncan Robinson and his contract? You know, so you said I was so hyped on Ochai. I feel like he would be a steal. I love Ochai. I'm glad you brought his name up. I don't know why I didn't think about him. I love Ochai. He's one of those guys, you leave him open in the AJ Griffin is another guy that could potentially drop to 10. You know, he definitely has the talent, but I know a lot of people are worried about the injury history with him. A lot of people are worried about the injury history with him. You said Shepard swapped Westbrook. He can swap Duncan too. He swaps. He swapped Dinwiddie and whatchamacallit. He swapped Dinwiddie and he swapped Dinwiddie and he swapped whatchamacallit, Davies. So it's possible. It's definitely possible. So he's a tough player. Yeah, definitely like Ochai. I can't think of a free agent who I'm like the Wizards picked him up in free agent. Definitely like Ochai. Let me see. I'm supposed to go back to Johnny. And they just back. I can't get rid of them. I could not get rid of them. He said if AJ Griffin ends up anything like MPJ, I think it's worth it. I'll take the risk. The Knicks drafted Kevin Knox over MPJ because of the injuries. I wanted Michael Porter Jr. when the time came, and they said even if he was there, you know, like the Wizards would have, whatchamacallit, the Wizards would have passed on him anyway. I mean, so, I mean, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. But, oh no. We'll see. Um, I just wanted to make this a quick little stream. What is it, about an hour? I've been on here for about an hour. Yeah. Been on here for about an hour. Let me see something. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see when the time comes. But that's probably all I got for right now, y'all. You said, Eric, you said, so John does get bought out. If John does get bought out, I feel like we wouldn't even crack top 3 as teams he's interested in. I definitely think he would be interested. I think the Heat would be of interest to him. I think the Clippers would be of interest to him. Depending on what the Lakers do with Russ, I think the Lakers would be of interest to him. So maybe not top 3 if he's like really focused on getting a ring. Then I would say Wizards. Depending on how bad he wants to come back to DC, I would say the Wizards may be like 4th. So we'll see. Definitely, it'll be interesting. But that's all I got for today, guys. A little short stream. I definitely will try to be on here more. It was cool. It was definitely fun. Appreciate you guys tuning in with me. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate that, bro. Like I said, I've been saying in my videos, going to be on here for the draft watch party, obviously. So I'll probably be streaming it on YouTube for that as well. Anybody in here who isn't subscribed, of course, subscribe to the channel. We'll love that. I appreciate that. Anybody who want to support as well in different ways, I got channel memberships now. Like I said, once I get to a certain level, I want to do jersey giveaways, member only live streams, etc. So all that good stuff. But yeah, Chimp, the bots out here wilding out, man. I'll try to see how to deal with that as, you know, I deal with it. But appreciate you, Dat. And before you go, would you want the team to draft that Tim? Who would you want the team to draft that Tim if you can pick right now? Benedict. Give me Benedict. And if Benedict is gone, give me Dyson. That's my stuff right there. That's my 2 right there. But yeah, the bots are going crazy. I gotta see what I could do about the bots, cause they going crazy. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for today. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. I may be uploading a video today too, about the Wizards potentially trading the 10th pick. So be on the lookout for that as well, and I will see you guys next time. Peace, guys. Thanks for tuning in.